Have you ever wondered what it was like before everyone had a car? Imagine a world where travel was slow, difficult, and a luxury for the wealthy few. Cities were cramped, and the countryside felt a world away. Then, in 1908, everything changed. A car rolled off an assembly line that wasn't just another machine. It was a revolution on wheels. This is the story of the Ford Model T, the car that put America and the world in the driver's seat. Before the Model T, cars were expensive, handcrafted toys for the rich. They were unreliable and required a chauffeur who was also a mechanic. Henry Ford had a different vision. He wanted to build a car for the great multitude, a car so affordable and simple that any man with a decent salary could own one. He famously said, "I will build a motor car for the great multitude. It will be so low in price that no man making a good salary will be unable to own one." And he did exactly that. So what made the Model T so special? First, its design. It was built to be tough. Nicknamed the Tin Lizzie, it was lightweight yet incredibly durable. Its high ground clearance allowed it to navigate the terrible, rutted dirt roads that were common across early 20th century America. It was simple to operate, or at least, simple for the time. It had a 20 horsepower, 4-cylinder engine, and could reach a top speed of about 45 miles per hour. Not fast by today's standards, but back then, it was like flying. The controls were a bit different from modern cars. You had 3 pedals on the floor, one for the clutch, one for reverse, and one for the brake. The throttle, or accelerator, was a lever on the steering column. It took some getting used to, but its simplicity was key. Owners were encouraged to do their own repairs, and Ford even published extensive manuals. Parts were standardized and readily available, making maintenance cheap and easy. You could even buy parts at hardware stores. But the real game changer wasn't just the car itself. It was how it was made. Henry Ford didn't invent the assembly line, but he perfected it for automobile manufacturing. Before 1913, it took over 12 hours to assemble a single Model T. By implementing the moving assembly line at his Highland Park plant, that time was slashed dramatically. Workers stood in one place while the chassis moved past them. Each worker performed a single specific task over and over. This increased efficiency to an unbelievable degree. By the end of production, a new Model T was rolling off the line every 24 seconds. This incredible efficiency drove the price down. When it was introduced in 1908, a Model T cost $825. By the mid-1920s, thanks to the assembly line, the price had dropped to as low as $260. That's less than $4,000 in today's money. It was truly a car for the masses. And Ford made sure his workers could afford one too. In 1914, he made the radical decision to double his workers' pay to $5 a day. This wasn't just generosity. It was a brilliant business move. It reduced high employee turnover and created a new class of consumers, his own employees, who could now afford the very products they were building. You've probably heard the famous quote, "Any customer can have a car painted any color that he wants, so long as it is black." For a long time, this was true. From 1914 to 1925, the Model T was only available in black. Why? Because black paint, specifically Japan black enamel, dried the fastest, which was crucial for keeping the assembly line moving at top speed. It was all about efficiency. The impact of the Model T on American society was profound. It completely reshaped the country's landscape and culture. With personal mobility, people were no longer tied to their immediate surroundings. Farmers could easily bring their goods to town, breaking the isolation of rural life. The concept of the weekend trip was born. Families could visit relatives in other towns or simply go for a drive in the country. This new freedom led to the rise of suburbs. People could now live farther from their city jobs, seeking more space and a better quality of life. The daily commute became a part of American life. This, in turn, spurred a massive wave of road construction. The demand for better roads led to the creation of the national highway system we know today. Gas stations, motels, and roadside diners sprang up across the country to serve the new mobile population. The car created entire new industries. The Model T also played a crucial role in World War I, serving as a staff car, an ambulance, and a light-duty truck. Its durability and ease of repair made it invaluable on the battlefield. Back home, it transformed farming, with many farmers converting their tin Lizzies into makeshift tractors or using the engine to power saws and pumps. It was more than a car. It was a versatile tool. But like all great things, the era of the Model T had to come to an end. By the mid-1920s, competitors like General Motors started offering cars with more features, more comfort, and more style, and in various colors. Consumers wanted more than just basic transportation. They wanted electric starters, smoother rides, and a bit of flair. The unchanging, purely functional design of the Model T started to look dated. In 1927, after producing over 15 million units, Ford ceased production of the Model T. The final car rolled off the line, marking the end of an incredible 19-year run. It was a bittersweet moment. The car that had mobilized a nation was now a part of history, replaced by its more modern successor, the model of looking back. It's hard to overstate the importance of the Ford Model T. It wasn't the first car, the fastest car, or the most luxurious car, but it was the most important. It democratized travel, transformed the economy, and physically reshaped the American continent. It turned the automobile from a rich man's toy into an essential tool for everyday life. It created the car culture that defines so much of the modern world. Every time you get in your car to go to work, to the store, or on a road trip, you're living in a world that the Tin Lizzie helped build. It truly was the car that put the world on wheels. Thanks so much for watching. If you found this story of the Model T as fascinating as I do, hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into the machines that changed our world. See you in the next video.